This is week 51 of our 2019 adventure, and in this episode, I'm going to share ways that you can feel better in seconds and why it is so important that you do it. Welcome to Harmony Enterprises weekly episode. I'm your host, Carrie Fox, and before we get into today's topic, let's take a moment to review our motto: to live in harmony with the infinite wisdom that dreamed you into being. Now that means that when you are able to look at the world from that point of view, you're also able to see and access your ability to overcome or even reverse what may seem to be overpowering emotions or situations. So let's start by looking at feelings. What are feelings? Well, I propose that they are physical vibrations and energy that our 3D human body experiences. You experience feelings. And there's a question of whether or not feelings are a result of thought. There is a misperception around the world that thoughts can create feelings, and that by changing your thoughts you can change your feelings. But the problem is that's not how it really works. As an example, consider someone who is struggling with poverty, unable to pay their bills, constantly badgered by bill collectors and threats of losing their home, and not being able to afford the basics of their life. And to deal with this, they deliberately audit their thoughts and change them from how am I going to deal with this to, well, you can pretty much pick any mantra that's out there, like everything's going to be all right, I will get through this, I open my life to receiving money, whatever the mantra might be. They're doing that in the hopes of feeling better to alleviate the feelings of fear and struggle. Now, if you've ever tried that, you know that it doesn't work. They are just words and they do not change your feelings. They are words from thoughts that do not change your feelings. You can say those words and think those thoughts. You can do that over and over, but you know what? The knot in the pit of your stomach remains. So changing your thoughts will not change those feelings. But what we can use to alter our feelings is the power of your imagination. And that is what we are going to look at as we continue with this episode. So, why you may be feeling what you're feeling. The first thing is reaction to life experiences. Let's say someone approaches you with their hand in a fist and their arm raised. They're prepared to bring that fist into contact with your body. Well, you will probably feel fear. You will experience fear. But if you should witness a child running and dancing and laughing and giggling, you'll probably feel and experience joy. And now there's something else that can influence your feelings, and that is an out-of-control ego. You know, that voice that's inside that says, you're just not good enough, no one likes you, you are not smart enough, or you're not good at anything. Listen, from the bottom of my heart, I want to share that being aware of and understanding an out-of-control ego is of the utmost importance, and it affects the way, your way of being in the world, how you feel. So next, look at why this is so important. Well, it's because of the way that the world works. Because your role as co-creator in what you experience, it's because of manifestation. It's because of two things that I hold dearly close to my heart. The first is dual citizenship, and the second is 3D to CC ordering system. So let's look at these two things. We'll start with dual citizenship. So this image here on the left shows the way that most people think of themselves in relation to spirit or higher self. Maybe they have this little soul pocket in the middle of their chest where their spirit or soul resides. The majority of their intentions and sensations and thoughts and behaviors are involved with their physical bodies, the human beingness of themselves, what's happening to them, what they are doing. Oh, and oh yes, by the way, they have this little spiritual connection. Now the picture on the right shows a more true way of how things really are. That there is your higher self. And that is huge compared to the little itty bitty you that is just a part of that eternal universe source, cosmic consciousness. That is so much bigger. Only a small sliver of that energy that becomes you, the human part, your human incarnation, that which infinite wisdom dreamed into being. Now, this is what I refer to as dual citizenship. The fact is, yes, you are a 3D human being on the planet Earth. We are all citizens of Earth. But more importantly, we are extensions of cosmic consciousness. We are citizens of all that is. That's our dual citizenship. And it behooves us all to remember that in everything that we say or do. Now, the second thing I mentioned was 3D to CC ordering system. And what this means is our three-dimensional humanness, 3D, sends images or messages to the CC, the cosmic consciousness. And therefore, they're involved in this ordering system. The 3D human being orders things from the cosmic consciousness. So imagine that there's such a thing as a magical menu. And through it, you are placing your order for what you want to experience. You're ordering your desires and your wants for your future directly from cosmic consciousness. And the way that you place your order is that you transmit your desires through your body's energetic system. Through your feelings, you can order what you want for how you want your life to be, to create your future, your tomorrow, and your next moment in time. This is a part of co-creating through your feelings, through your vibrations, energy, and frequency of your beingness. You are communicating your wants, dreams, and desires to cosmic consciousness. That is why your feelings are so important. So let's focus on your power to change. Your feelings and your future are creatable. They're manifestable. Manifestable. Doesn't sound right. Since your feelings are sending requests for what you want, and I think all of us would choose that what we would be ordering more of is more love and more joy and more fun. But to do that, you need to be vibrating and sending vibrations and feelings of joy, love, and fun. By deliberately manipulating your feelings, you just need to learn how to change your state of being. So when the world feels like an emotional roller coaster, you can steady yourself with simple rituals. Do the dishes, fold the laundry, water the plants. Simplicity attracts wisdom. So you can change how you are feeling by doing something, taking you out of where you were, and it puts you into a different way of being in the world. You can change your state of being. You know that feeling you get when the music touches your soul? Well, when you're feeling negative emotions or some way that you don't want to feel, then listen to some music that you love. It can change your way of being in the world. And always remember, if it doesn't make you feel fabulous, then don't do it. Don't buy it. Don't wear it. Don't eat it. Don't keep it. And don't date it. So what I'm going to suggest that will possibly help you here is periodic reminders. A couple simple things are where you have a band on your wrist or a dot on your watch face. Now the band on your wrist means something like maybe that you have a particular bracelet that has an inspirational saying in it, or you may have a bracelet of mala prayer beads, or maybe a simple rubber band that every time you see that on your wrist or you touch it, if you're wearing it multiple times a day, stop and spend 10 to 30 seconds to recognize how you're feeling in that present moment. And if you don't like the way you're feeling, if you're feeling stressful, decide to change your feelings. Decide to feel what it feels like when you swing on a swing. Swing on a swing as a child. Another trick is to place a tiny dot of brightly colored nail polish on the face of your watch. Just a little itty bitty dot, red, pink, blue, purple, whatever, as a simple reminder every time you look at your watch to be aware of your feelings and to maybe deliberately switch yourself over for a few seconds into something that feels like joy and laughter and fun. It's a part of you being a 3D human being ordering from your cosmic consciousness. And a little tool that I really love is either an electronic tool or a cell phone app. Now, for an electronic tool, there are things like kitchen timers and stuff that you can set to ring, press the button and it'll ring in 2 hours kind of thing. But not everybody can carry a timer around with them. So this is an app that I absolutely love. It's mainly for Android type phones. It's called Mindfulness Bell. And yes, it can be used for meditations if you want to meditate for 10 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever the case may be. Its biggest thing that I use constantly is it has a timer that you can set from sometime in the morning to sometime at night. Mine is from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And you can set it to go off every so often. I have mine set for approximately every 2 hours, not exactly every 2 hours. And you can set that it makes a ding like the gong of a brass bowl like this, or you can set it to vibrate. And every time it does that during the day, it's a reminder for you to focus on a feeling of love and joy, just for 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 60 seconds. Just think of how many times a day you could be, hang on just a second here, didn't mean that to be happening here, hang on. Just think of how many times a day you can deliberately change your feelings to that of happiness and joy. It's a wonderful thing to do. Now there's another app that's for iPhones and things like that. It is called the Mindfulness Bell, and it's very similar to the Mind Bell for the Android phones. And I looked recently, and there's a dozen other apps that'll do the same thing. So do yourself a favor and find some way to periodically remind you during the day to be in control of your emotions and your feelings, because that is how you communicate to cosmic consciousness. So, flooding your awareness. So what I just told you was a little bit of little things that you can do periodically to influence the way that you feel. But how about if you could really pay attention to in what other ways are you flooding your awareness and making yourself feel certain ways? For instance, what is in your sphere of awareness or your sphere of what's happening every day? Do you watch movies? Do you watch TV? And think for a moment what you watch. Are you watching police and horror and murder and killing and zombies? Think about the emotions that those kinds of things that are flooding your awareness are sending out into the universe of what you want. Hopefully that makes sense. Another thing that you can do besides paying attention and changing the things that might be in your environment that are deliberately helping you to create negative feelings or fear, hate, politics. Just think about politics. Another thing is memes. The internet is filled with millions of inspirational memes that you can use to help yourself stay on a more feeling better, feeling more joy and happiness and being inspired, and therefore sending those vibrations out into the ordering system. Here's one I like. Be mindful of your words, your feelings, your emotions, and your actions, for their effects are far more potent than you realize. And this is one I must have put on the internet about 20 years ago, according to the way that Harmony Enterprises font is showing on this one. And that was, see it until you can feel it, until you can be it. I hope that makes sense to everybody, that you can feel how something like this is an inspirational meme could encourage you to live in a feeling of joy and hope and inspiration. Another meme, do not feel lonely because the entire universe is inside of you. And we kind of looked at that earlier with that slide that I showed about are you a person with a little bit of soul pocket, or are you huge soul cosmic consciousness that has a splinter of 3D human being person? Also, and if you are always trying to be normal, you will never know how amazing you can be. God bless Maya Angelou. So you have this ability to be this amazing entity, planet Earth. You decided to come down here on your grand adventure and experience all the wonderful things that you can. And as things happen to us, we pull back, or we try to put ourselves into this little box of normalness, which shuts you down from being amazing. Wayne Dyer said, you cannot be lonely if you really like the person that you're alone with. Inspirational, inspirational, inspirational. And there's one more side to your feelings that I haven't really discussed with you yet. And that is your feelings not as a message from you to cosmic consciousness, but your feelings of cosmic consciousness to you. That is, when you are feeling good, fun, and happy, that is a sign that you are in harmony with the infinite wisdom that dreamed you into being. And when you are feeling bad, negative emotions, what if it's cosmic consciousness making you aware that you are out of harmony with the life and the purpose that you chose when you incarnated here? So anytime you feel negative emotions, stop and realize there might be something important here. These pains you feel are messengers. Listen to them, from the ancient philosopher Rumi. So you can be aware and can choose to live in harmony with the infinite wisdom that dreamed you into being, and that the life and the purpose of your intentions of why you are here. So in this 51st week of 2019, and as this year is drawing to a close, I hope that you'll consider, what if you could be feeling better right now, and choose to do that. Now, if you would like to receive a gift from me to help you maintain feelings of lovingness and gratitude, you can request a copy of Feel Loved, Nurtured, and Supported, which is to help you learn how to accept 7 free gifts from Mother Nature. You can request a copy at Feel Loved Book at harmonyenterprises.net, and we will get that off to you and send you a notice when it's in your inbox. So thank you so much for joining me today on this weekly Facebook post. Until next time, I'm your host, Carrie Fox. Bye for now.